Hi, I'm Stephanie. This is the Yacht Club. So Yacht is Y-O-T. It's yoga-based occupational therapy. So I am a certified occupational therapist as well as a certified yoga instructor. So all that means for you is that I'm coming into this with more of a whole body approach, thinking about the musculoskeletal system, the nervous system, and a more of an anatomy-based approach. But I am really passionate about bringing yoga to everyone. And so today's practice will be all standing, no sitting or floor components, and it'll all be with the support of a chair. So if that sounds like it's appropriate for you, then join me with a chair. Maybe have a yoga mat underneath you for a little more support. And this may be your lunch break, or it may be your big effort of movement for the day, wherever you find yourself today. Just take a moment to arrive on your mat, maybe with your chair, and join me with both hands on your chair. Take a moment just to breathe. Maybe lift up your toes and press them into the mat. Rock back and forth. And root down through your feet. Maybe put a little bend in your knees. And lengthen out through the top of your head. And just breathe here. Try to direct your breath down low in your rib cage. So breathe. Fill up your rib cage. Even maybe inhale so much that it fills up even all the way down to your pelvic floor. So we're inhaling to spread, exhaling, contracting everything, pushing that air back up and out. So we're going to explore a sun salutation with both hands on the chair. So this is our warm up, our welcome to the mat, kind of introductory movement. So maybe take a little step away from your chair so you have room to fold forward. Inhale, lengthen up. Maybe you can bring one arm up above your head. As you exhale, fold forward, bend your knees, let your head be heavy. And you could even move your hands down to the sides of your chair if you want a little more space to fold deeper. Then on your next inhale, I want you to lengthen out through the top of your head. So keep your knees bent and make your spine long. We're stretching out, reaching your head towards the chair. And then exhale, fold again. Inhale, bend your knees a lot, reach through your feet and come back up. Walk towards your chair and find a standing cobra. So draw your shoulder blades together. Find a little back bend in the upper part of your back. And just watch your pelvis here to make sure we're keeping it neutral, that we're not really driving forward, that we're keeping strength and tone through your pelvis. Maybe you could let your head lift. And let's just keep these ribs sort of knitted in and down. And then place your hands on your chair. Walk back to a standing downward dog. So step backwards. Let your hands press into your chair. Reach your hips back behind you. Let's keep those knees bent for now. So we're finding length through your spine. And I want you to imagine that your head and your hips are reaching in opposite directions. So really stretching. I feel it most in my lower back. I'm pressing down into your chair, keeping strong shoulders. And rooting down through your feet. On your next inhale, look forward, walk your feet back up towards your chair. Take a deep inhale and exhale. That's our sun salutation. We're going to move through it a little bit more quickly with our breath. So inhale, root through your feet, stand tall. Maybe reach up with one hand on a deep breath in. Exhale as you fold forward. Keep a bend in your knees. Inhale, reach your head out long. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, step forward and come to a cobra. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your ribs knit down and together. And find a little back bend in your upper back. And then your next exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Reach your hips back. Press your hands down into your chair. And look forward, walk your feet back forward. Take a deep breath at neutral. And we're going to do one more, and we're adding on. This will be like our variation of sun salutation B. So inhale up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step forward, stand up tall. Little back bend for cobra. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Keep a bend in your knees so that your hips can be free to really reach back. Keep energy pressing down through your hands and rooting down through your feet. Now, look forward, maybe step in a little bit, but we're going to step 1 foot forward. So you can let your back heel rise up. Find a forward lunge here and just explore what a comfortable stance is for you. Then if you have the calf flexibility, we're going to turn your back heel down. So we're finding full warrior 1. Let your hips stay neutral, your hip points going straight forward. Your hands are both on the chair. And breathe here. Notice any sensations through your hips, through the back of your leg. Looking for a long line of energy from your back heel all the way out through the top of your head. If you're feeling stable, you're welcome to reach your arms forward or up, but you're welcome to keep them just right here on the chair. Keep your chest nice and open, your shoulder blades drawing together. And then press through your hands, step that foot back. We're going to go back to downward facing dog. Reach your hips back. And look forward. Let's step the opposite foot forward. Let your heel come up in the back just to find your neutral hips. So both hip points point forward. And then begin to bend your front knee. If you're able, spin your back foot down. So we're planting, grounding through that back heel. Your toes will turn out a little bit though as you ground that heel. Keep your hips pointing forward and maybe explore if you could bend your front knee a little deeper. Notice the energy coming up from your heel all the way out through the top of your head. And maybe we're reaching hands forward or maybe up overhead. Or maybe we stay right here and just let your shoulders be broad, your shoulder blades drawing together, and your head be tall. Just be cautious. Don't allow the chair to cause you to round forward because you're stabilizing so much. We're keeping your chest really open. And then let's step back. Use some strong energy from your front foot. Push yourself back to downward facing dog. Reach through the crown of your head. And breathe here. Keep the back of your head lifted. I tend to forget this one and want to tuck my chin, but keep that back lifted so we're still engaging the muscles of your back and keeping that straight line of your spine. And look forward, step your feet forward. And let's place one hand on your chair, face forward. Breathe. And just begin to root yourself here. We're in a new position with just one hand on the chair. We're going to explore some external rotation of the hip. So everything we've done so far has been hips neutral and forward. Now, turn one foot to face your toes towards your chair. Let that knee bend a little bit and step your opposite foot out. Those toes are going to face forward. So we're finding a wide stance here. One set of toes is pointing towards your chair. The other set is pointing straight forward. And begin to bend one knee and keep your back leg straight. You could adjust your stance. And maybe let's bend and straighten that leg just to explore this sensation. So based on the way hips move, you won't be able to keep your hips totally straight forward. There'll be a natural bit of an angle here, so we're a little asymmetrical, but all our energy is working towards kind of an opening of your hips in this position. Your knee that's bending, let it track towards your second or third toe. And then let's stay here for a moment with your knee bent. Maybe your back arm straightens out. Really ground and root through your feet so that you can find some height here. We're drawing energy up through your low belly, spreading your chest, and gaze over your bent knee, kind of out this direction. If you feel stable, you could reach your other hand out as well, but you're welcome to keep a hand for support on the chair. Then bring your front leg straight. You can let your hand maybe come to your hip and hinge out. So we're bending from your hips and reaching out. So this is triangle pose. You can keep your hand on your hip here or reach up overhead. You can let your head turn towards the ceiling or stay neutral. Don't lock out your knees. Keep a little tiny baby bend in them. We're looking for a lot of length through your side body. And smooth, easy breath here. So if your breath gets sort of ragged or constricted, you could always come back up just a little. You can think about rotating your whole torso to kind of shine your heart forward or up. And really reach through your top hand, come back up. Find a neutral spine. Then this next pose will be a balance challenge. So explore it if you'd like to, but no pressure. Just listen to your own body and do what you can. So bend your front knee, and we're going to bend so much that you could hinge forward and come up into half moon. So watch for a moment. You can really push up, but you're welcome to stay here in this sort of leaning out over your front leg pose If you're all the way up, we're reaching out through your extended leg. Maybe you adjust your hand position on the chair for better support. We're still getting that wide external rotation and long spine. Really reach through the crown of your head and out through the back of your foot. Active toes. And when you're ready, you can lower yourself back down. All right. Breathe and let's step your feet back together. Find neutral. And then we will turn around and try it on the other side. So opposite foot points towards the chair. And then you step out as wide as you feel comfortable. And just explore some bending through that front knee. See what feels all right to you today. And once you find a good stance, we're going to hold it there for a moment. Keep your chest wide, your shoulder blades drawing together. Maybe your back arm reaches out towards straight. So even though your front knee is bent, we're still finding a lot of height and length through your spine. Notice the external rotation of your hips. Maybe your front arm also floats up, but no pressure. And bring your back hand to your hip, draw your front leg to straight, and hinge from your hips, tilt towards the side. Let your side body be long on both sides, so we're really reaching out, rotating that torso, and maybe reach one arm up, triangle pose. And breathe here. Reaching out from that back leg all the way out through the crown of your head. And bring your hand back to your hip. Let's explore half moon on this side. So bend your front knee, and you need a little momentum for this one, so it's going to be kind of quick, but bend that front knee and lift up. Maybe you adjust the way you're holding your chair. Your hand can stay on your hip or it can reach out towards the ceiling. Reaching through the crown of your head, reaching actively out through your foot. And breathe here. And maybe hand comes back down to your hip. And bend your knee, lower back down. Let it be smooth and easy as possible. And step your feet back together. And for these next poses, you can pick which side you'd like to start on, but we're going to come back to neutral. So stand tall, reach to the top of your head. One hand supports on the chair, and we're going to sit hips back like you're sitting in a chair. So a little bit of a squat here. Feet can be together or a little wider, but keep your knees tracking straight forward. And go as deep as feels comfortable to you. Hand can stay on your hip, or reach forward, or reach up above your head. We're really strong through the hips in this pose. And breathing. You will notice this is a heat building pose though. Just try to be an observer of your body. It's not panic when it's doing hard work. It's just be interested in how it's feeling. Deep breath and stand back up. Now, really ground through one foot and let your outside foot get a little lighter. Maybe come to your tiptoes. So you're rooting, grounding through your standing foot that's closer to the chair. And let's try to bring your opposite foot up over your knee, cross it over like a figure 4. And let's sit back in a chair one more time. So hinge back with your hips. Notice any sensations in the outside of your hip. We do not want to feel this in the knee. So if you're feeling pain there, we need to ease back up. But if you're feeling steady, you can reach your hand forward or up. And breathe. And let's come on back up to standing. And let's turn around, try it on the other side. So we're shifting weight. Let your outside foot get lighter. Maybe draw it up to tiptoes, little kickstand. And if you're feeling steady, you can cross your foot over to figure 4. And then maybe sink your hips back. Hand can stay on your hips. And maybe one arm draws up overhead. Let this be a stretch. And gently come back up. Let's turn to have both hands on your chair. Maybe you could stand a little closer. Do a little roll through your neck or winding down. And do any motions that feel good to you here. We can wiggle it out. Let's come all together and step your feet back. We're going to find an easy forward fold. So bend your knees. You can maybe cross your arms on your chair and rest your head on your hands. You could maybe rock your hips side to side. Lengthen out through your hips. But really bend your knees deep. Let this be restful. And just draw your attention back to your breath here. Let your breath be easy and light. Let your muscles relax, especially the muscles of your back and your hips. And place your hands on the back of your chair, press through your feet. Come on back up. And deep breath, really big exhale. Let it all go. And draw your hands to heart center. Let your chin drop down to your chest. Take a moment of gratitude and presence. Notice any sensations in your body, any way that you feel different than when you started. Thank you for taking time to practice today, for tuning into your body and treating yourself well. Namaste. Thank you all for joining me here. I'll be posting more videos, so please subscribe and maybe hit that bell so you can know when I've got a new video posted. I will see you next time.